afternoon, Rampage family. Welcome back to the championship game of the weekend for our division. Rampage boys successfully pulling in a victory this morning, advancing them into this afternoon's championship game. The game we'll be playing today is against SDP, Sierra Delta Papa, for those of you military or aviation types. Scouting report is obviously they've done very, very well this weekend also. So we did look back at some of the games. It sounds like they've won by a our opponents today have won by a fairly substantial margin in the games that they've played. So I have a feeling they're going to be the best team that we get to play against this weekend. So should be a good hockey game. Hopefully the boys are ready to go, got a little food, got a little rest, and are dialed up and ready to go for this afternoon's game. It's been a great start to the season so far. Obviously Rampage boys going 4-0 on the season. Special thanks to all of you who have been trying to watch this weekend and having patience with me for the first couple of days, and then still being willing to tune in and listen to me run my mouth this last couple of games. Thanks to the extra folks that have helped out here and there, pitched in. Chris Sarver did a great job helping me work the camera early on. It's been a fun weekend so far. And when you win and have success, it's always fun, right? So the boys are in good spirits, hopefully ready to go. Hopefully we'll see a good dialed-up hockey game to finish out this first weekend for us. I do want to give a special thanks and shout out to the Rampage 14U AAA team. I know a lot of you guys are tuned in and watching today. Thanks for your support. We love you guys. Had a chance to do a few activities, between those two teams early this season, the incline, things like that, and appreciate you tuning in and cheering us on from wherever you happen to be. So all right, I'm going to go back on mute, save my voice for the next minute or two. The boys are going to collect the pucks, give themselves a pep talk, and get ready to go. Getting ready for period number 1. $17 minutes up on the board. Let's see who we have to start off period number 1. Ryder Shields in between the pipes. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Sarver, Whittingham, White, and Bennett. Whittingham to take the draw. Here we go. SDP wins the draw back into their own zone. They're going to skate it behind their net to the far side wall. Back again, doesn't connect, into their zone with it. Cross ice to the far side again. Back, and a quick mishandle, regain the puck. They're going to skate into the Rampage zone with it. SDP takes a shot. Shields has it. He's going to hang on. And we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone. 16:37 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Friedis, Dormer, Bennett, and White. SDP wins the draw. They're going to flip it down low into the corner. It hit the net, but play continues. Puck tied up down low. SDP reverses directions to the near side. Send it up the wall, up to the point on the near side. Shot goes into the far corner. Pinching down the wall, and now Drexel gets a stick on it. Clears the zone with it. SDP has to tag up. And then a poke check by Drexel. He's into the zone with it. Centering pass, and SDP is going to clear it to the far wall. Now out of the zone. White's going to dump it in. Rampage have to tag up. SDP has it back behind their net. They're going to drop it back to the near side. Rampage getting a quick change of players. SDP sends it out to neutral ice. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Bisley sends it across ice to Espirito on the far side. Espirito up the wall to Flanagan. Flanagan looking for Rahosian just outside the reach. It's going to go into the zone. Banyan come in, just take somebody off their feet. SDP sends the puck across the far side. They take the red line, and they're going to flip it in down low into the corner. Bisley up the wall. Rahosian chips it up and out of the zone. SDP gets there, holds it on the near side wall, and now they're going to chip it into the Rampage zone. 15-17 left in period number 1. Bisley sends it up the boards to Flanagan. Flanagan off the wall. Poke check by Banyan's going to send it out to neutral ice. SDP dumps it in, but they have to tag up. Espirito goes back after, or behind his net. He's going to send a stretch pass that doesn't connect, and we get a whistle for icing. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone with 15:01 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Judkins, White, and Fuhrer. SDP wins the draw up to the point. Shot doesn't make it through. White's going to clear it out to neutral. Just overskated. Comes to the near side. Fuhrer tries to chip it. Gets stuck on the near side wall. Little back and forth. Roberts sends the puck into the SDP zone. SDP has it on their stick. Loss of a handle, and Foster's going to get in there, and SDP's going to recollect on the far side. Skates over the near side. Puck comes up. Judkins backhands it to keep it in the zone. Roberts gets in the mix. Keeps the puck down low. Centers the pass. Nobody home. SDP's going to skate out of the zone with it to the far side through neutral ice into the Rampage zone, and they are off sidesies. 14:20 left in period number 1. We'll get a face-off just outside the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, Whittingham, Whitted, Sarver, Bennett, and Bisley. SDP wins the draw, sends it across to the near side. From the red line, they're going to dump it to the far side corner. Bennett hustles back, sends it off the wall. Sarver drops it for Whitted, over to Whittingham. Whittingham through neutral. He's going to dump it in and give chase. He chases it to the far side corner. SDP sends it around to the near side, up the near side wall. They're going to chip it up and out. Bennett has to recollect it in his own zone. Drops it, changes directions for Bisley. Up the wall. Sarver comes off the wall and just goes through the skates. Now a little bit of bouncing around. SDP keeps it in the zone. Whitted has it down low, sends it around the boards to Bisley on the far side. Up to Sarver, off the wall to Whitted. Whitted skates through, takes the red line. He's going to chip it in and go for a change. SDP has it down low. They send a stretch pass up to neutral ice. Turn, fire it in. Espirito takes it back, sends it up to Dormer. Dormer comes in to the SDP zone, sends it back to the point. Nobody home. Puck comes out. Espirito has it in his own zone. Off the wall, it's going to bounce off. Drexel picks it up coming through. Dormer wrangles it in, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck goes to the far side wall. Drexel pulls it off the wall now, backhands it, looking for Freitas. And now the puck's going to come up out of the zone. Rampage have to get on sides. SDP has it on their own zone. They send it out to neutral ice. Quick takeaway by White. Sends it back behind the boards. Espirito changes direction. Comes up the far side boards. Tied up, and now White's going to wrangle it in. He sends it up to Freitas. Freitas and Rampage are just off sides on the way into the zone. 12:31 left in period number 1. We'll have a face-off outside the SDP zone. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Flanagan, Rahosian, Bisley, and Fuhrer. Rampage win the draw. Fuhrer tries to backhand it, bounces towards the Rampage zone. Now back out to neutral ice. SDP is going to chip it back into the Rampage zone to the far side. Rahosian picks it up, sends it up the wall on the near side. It's going to go just wide of the net. Shields plays it to the backhand to the near side wall. Fuhrer gets in there, sends it up the boards to the point. Shot taken, body's in the way. Secondary shot goes just wide of the net. Fuhrer sends it up to Flanagan. Flanagan skating through the neutral zone into the SDP zone. Skates down low on the near side. Goes to try to chase it. Rahosian follows up. Takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. 11:47 left in period number 1. We'll get a face-off in the SDP zone. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Roberts, Foster, Bennett, and Espirito. SDP wins the draw, sends it around the boards to the far side. Comes up and out of the zone. Bennett has to rush back for it. He's got a man on him. Gets flipped up. SDP with a takeaway. Quick shot goes up and over. Foster doing battle down low. He's got Judkins in there to help him out. Puck stuck up against the wall and in the corner. Espirito comes in to help out. SDP pulls it out of the corner, centers the pass, takes a shot, goes off a stick, and Shields has to make a save. Second shot goes off the post, and now the net is loose, so we have a stoppage with 11:17 left in period number 1. So we'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, Whittingham, Whitted, Sarber, Bisley, White. SDP wins the draw up to the point. Back down the wall on the near side. Whitted sends it off the wall. SDP with the takeaway. Bisley feeds it around in the near side corner. White goes into the corner to do battle. Puck up against the near side. Sarver's going to wrangle it in. He skates through. He's into the SDP zone. Tries to feed it over to Whitted, who got cross-checked from behind on his way into the zone. No call. Play continues. Puck sent up and out of the zone. Across, looking for Whitted, but outside the reach, and Rampage get a whistle for icing. Faceoff's going to come back into the Rampage zone with 10:41 left in period number 1. Love you. See you at home. Out on the ice, we've got Friedis, Drexel, Dormer, Bennett, and Fuhrer. Quick shot. Shields with it in his glove. Not sure how he saw that one. There's a lot of traffic in the way, but a nice grab by Ryder Shields. 10:38. We'll get another face-off right in the Rampage zone, just like before. Rampage win the draw. Send it over to Bennett on the far side. Up the wall to Drexel. He's going to turn with it. Sends a stretch pass to Dormer. Dormer's in the zone. Tries to make a move. Puck gets poked to the outside wall, and now it comes up and out of the zone with it. SDP coming through with speed into the Rampage zone. On net. Shields covers it and has a player go crashing into him. And we do have an official sending somebody. It looks like we've got a penalty coming to Jack Friedis with 10:18. Friedis taking exception to the fact that the player crashed into our goaltender. And with 10:18 left in period number 1, the Rampage are going to go on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to start the PK, we've got Bisley, Espirito, Banyan, and Flanagan. Rampage win the draw. Flanagan's got it on his stick. He's going to skate out, takes the red line. He's going to chip it in off a stick. It goes up into the roof and out of play. Faceoff's going to come outside the SDP zone. Same crew out as before on the penalty kill. SDP wins the draw, sends it back into the zone. Flanagan applying pressure on the forecheck, trying to keep it in deep. Banyan comes in, ties things up on the wall. Now SDP coming out of the zone with it. Sends a cross ice to the far side. Bennett gets a stick on it. I'm sorry, that's Bisley got the stick on it. Puck comes around to the near side. SDP's trying to set up on the power play. They send it up to the point on the near side. Shot goes off a body and wide of the net. Ends up in the far wall. SDP sends it down into the corner. Cross ice pass. Quick shot. And the net is off its moorings again. 9:40 left in period number 1. We've got 1:22 left on the penalty kill. A couple of fresh penalty killers out on the ice. We've got Sarver, Judkins, White, and Bennett. SDP wins the draw up to the point. Sends it across to the far side. They're holding up high, centers the pass, goes off a stick and ends up in the near corner. Bennett doing battle down low. Sarver gets it on a stick. He's going to turn and clear it. SDP goaltender wrangles the puck in and leaves it for his defenseman. Sarver applying pressure on the forecheck. 58 seconds left on the penalty kill. SCP's got it, skates to the near side wall, out of the zone, makes a move towards center, and then drops it for the point on the far side. Over to the near side point and back again, up on the blue line, down to the top of the circle. Centering pass attempt, bounce off a couple of bodies, ends up in the near side corner. Puck comes up to the blue line, cross ice to the far wall. Cross ice pass, centering a shot attempt, whiffed on it. Sarver's coming back the other way. He's got Judkins with him in the middle. Pass attempt broken up. SDP now coming back the other direction. Into the rampage zone with it with speed. Centering pass. Fuhrer gets a stick on it. SDP's going to send it up to the point, and there's nobody home. So Sarver's going to get there. Into the zone with it. Takes a shot from up high, and the goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. So with 8:22 left in period number 1 and 4 seconds left on the penalty kill, we'll get a face-off in the SDP zone. Out on the ice to take over for this last 4 seconds of penalty kill time, we've got Whittingham, Whitted, Fuhrer, and Bisley. SDP wins the draw. Held in the zone momentarily. SDP back in their own zone with it. Quick steal by Whitted. He's in the zone. Backhand shot attempt. Goaltender makes a save. SDP sends it to the near side wall, and they skate out of the zone with it. Through neutral, into the rampage zone, lost the handle, and now they're going to dump it down low. Puck rolls around to the far side. Rampage are back at full strength if I didn't mention that before. Puck comes up and out of the zone. I think it got tipped, so play will continue. Rahosian going in on the forecheck. Sends it around to the far side. Whittingham's going to get there. Drops it back for Esperito in his own zone. Puck comes up on the near side, doesn't connect, and that's going to be icing. So we get a whistle. Faceoff will be back in the rampage zone with 7:39 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Judkins, Bennett, and Esperito. Tied up on the draw. SCP's going to drive it down into the corner. Judkins and Esperito are in there to do battle. Roberts gets a backhand on it, but they can't clear. STB holds the point, sends it across to the far side. Foster gets a boot in the way of that. Puck comes to the near side. STP has it on their stick. Tied up down low in the corner. STP sends it around to the far side. Bennett gets in there to try to tie things up. He's got Judkins in there to help out. Send the puck around the near side wall and comes up and out of the zone. Foster wrangles it into the SDP zone with it. Roberts comes in, picks up the loose change shot, and the goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on to it in his glove. So with exactly 7 minutes left in period number 1, we'll get a face-off in the SDP zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Friedis, Dormer, Bisley, and White. Tied up on the draw, still bouncing around. Looks like SDP is going to get a stick on it first. Friedis gets in there, makes a move behind the net. Got a couple players on. Drexel comes in to pick it up, sends it up to the point. White holds it at the point, Bouncing around. Dormer's going to pick it up off the wall. Skates it down low, tied up back behind the net. Freitas gets in there to mix things up as well. Puck comes up and out, and now it's going to get poked out by an SDP player who's going to recollect. Skates through into the Rampage zone. Quick move to the outside. Shot taken. Shields with a nice save. Drexel picks it up. SDP is going to send it out to neutral ice. Little back and forth. Lots of shots back each direction. I believe we have a penalty coming to the Rampage. Ref's got his hand in the air. SDP coming back the other way into the zone with it. And Rampage touch up. And we will get a whistle. Penalty coming to the Rampage. 5:59 left in period number 1. I believe this one was called, they're called it against Drexel, but I don't think he was actually even in that pile. But Carter Drexel with a very rare penalty against. No surprise that it was probably the wrong guy. Rampage start on the PK. We've got Flanagan, Sarver, Espirito, and Fuhrer on the ice. SDP wins the draw. They're going to dump it down into the far side corner. Back up to the point. Cross to the near side. Espirito sends it hard up and out of the zone. SDP recollects at neutral ice. They have to tag up. Off of a boot, Espirito's got it, sends it hard off the glass, the distance, and he's going to clear it. SDP back behind their own net. They're going to drop it on the near side, and nobody's there, so they have to wrangle it back in. Sarver throws a big hit. SDP comes skating out of the zone, through neutral, into the Rampage zone. They drop it at the point, send cross-ice pass to the near side. Sarver digs the puck out and clears the zone. Excellent little series by Johnny Sarver. SDP is going to send it across to the near side. Cross to the far side, into the zone with it. SDP drives it down low. 1 minute remaining on the penalty kill for the Rampage boys. SDP leaves it up high in the point. Puck comes in. Espirito has it on his stick and just clears the zone with it. SDP back into the zone with it. Flanagan is mixing things up. Espirito gets taken down. Bennett gets in there, and SDP is going to hold it down low in the corner. They skated up the wall on the near side, send it up to the blue line, and across ice to the far side circle. Shot taken, and that one sneaks in. So with 4:28 left in period number 1, SDP goes up by a score of 1-0 on a power play goal. Out on the ice to take the face-off, we've got Sarver, Whittingham, Whitted, White, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Bisley takes the red line and is going to chip it in. Sarver applying pressure on the forecheck. Just destroys somebody behind the net. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Sarver turns it back around again. SDP sends it across to the far side. Up the wall on the far side and into the Rampage zone. Bisley has to come back for it. Drops it, looking for White. White sends it up the boards for Sarver, off the wall and out to neutral ice. SDP sends it across to the near side. Bisley rings it in and sends it into the zone. Whittingham applying pressure on the forecheck. He's got Dormer on the other side. Fresh in the play. SDP skates to the near side, up and out of the zone, into the Rampage zone now on the near side wall. Shot goes through the crease and ends up on the far wall. Sent back down low. White has it on his stick. He's got a player on. He manages to clear the zone with it. SDP sends it across and then back again. Shot from up high. And that one's going to sneak in. So with 3:21 left in period number 1, SDP goes up on an even strength goal by a score of 2-0. Out on the ice, we've got Espirito, Rahosian, Banyan, Flanagan, and Bennett. SDP wins the draw, sends it across the far side and back again. They come skating out of their own zone with it, into the Rampage zone. Nice poke check by Bennett. And then Banyan's going to send the puck back behind. Espirito sends it up the near side wall. Rahosian out of the zone. Flanagan catches it on his backhand. He's into the zone with it. Flanagan with the shot. Goaltender with the save. He's going to hang on. 2:57 left in period number 1. We've got Rahosian, Banyan, Flanagan, Bisley, and White on the ice. Rampage win the draw, drive it into the corner. Now SCP's going to send it up that far side wall, clear the zone with it, poke check, and White sends it to the near side wall. Rahosian wrangles it in, skates back into his zone with it. SDP with the quick takeaway, and then Banyan's going to send it up the near side wall. SDP with a shot from the point. Shields has it, and he's going to hang on. So we'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone with 2:33 left in the first. A couple of fresh skaters on the ice. We've got Roberts, Foster, Judkins, White, and Bisley. SDP wins it up to the point. Shot from up high. Shields has to go up to get it. He does so. It bounces out. Foster skates it out of the zone. Cross to the near side. Back again. SDP has it in their own zone. They're going to send it across to the far side. They take the red line, chip it into the Rampage zone. Shields holds it up. He's going to send it around the boards on the far side. Foster gets tied up on the boards. SDP is going to come in, take it away. Quick pass to Judkins. He's going to skate out of the zone into the SDP zone with it. Shot goes off a body, ends up in the corner. Cross ice pass to the near side. SDP is into the Rampage zone with it. Fuhrer has it. He's going to flip it around to the other side to Espirito. Up the wall to the point, but not out. SDP holds the point. Shot. Foster gets a body in the way. And now the puck gets cleared to neutral ice. SDP across to the near side. They're back into the Rampage zone with it. Shot from up high. And that one gets deflected off of Shieldsy up into the netting and out of play. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Whitted, Whittingham, Espirito, and Fuhrer. SDP wins the draw up to the point. Shot deflects off a stick, goes to the far side corner. Fuhrer's going to get there, shovels it up and out of the zone. SDP wrangles it back in and neutral ice. They're going to dump it hard back into the Rampage zone. Shields holds it up. Little miscommunication. And now it comes up to the far boards. Whitted skates it out of the zone. Tries to feed it up towards Whittingham. Sends it behind him and into the SDP zone. Puck tied up down low in the corner. Whittingham and Whitted are in there. SCP's skates it out. Sends it out to neutral ice. White recollects. Sends a cross ice pass looking for Whittingham. Just outside the reach, it's going to bounce in the SDP zone. Puck across to the near side corner. Sarver applying pressure on the forecheck. SDP skates it to the far side. Goes off a Whittingham skate. It's going to bounce back behind the net. Sarver applying pressure, keeping it down low. SDP skates to the near side. Sends a cross ice pass out to neutral ice, and they're going to flip it into the Rampage zone. White has to come back and get it. He does so in his zone. Stretch pass, deflects off a stick, and then Drexel picks it up, flips it over for Dormer. Dormer takes a shot that went off the side of the net. Comes back up to Freitas, who takes a shot from up high, goes off bodies, and ends up bouncing all the way up, back and out of the zone, and time expires on period number 1. So your score after 1 is 2-0 in favor of SDP. Shots on goal right now are showing 13-7 in favor of SDP. And as noted previously, this is the strongest team that we've seen this weekend so far, and they are. It's going to be a tough battle. So hopefully the boys pick things up a little bit. Not a lot of space out there, so hopefully they can pick things up and start to create a little bit more offense. Getting ready to start period number 2. On the ice to take the draw, we've got Drexel, Dormer, Friedis, Bennett, and White. SDP wins the draw. They're going to send it across to the far side. Back again to the near side wall. Skated out of their zone, cross-ice pass, stolen by Friedis. He's back into the SDP zone with the puck. Turns, centering pass attempt. It's going to bounce up to Bennett. Bennett shoots from the blue line. Dormer takes a quick shot on the rebound. Goaltender makes 2 saves in a row. We'll get a face-off in the SDP zone with 16:42 in period number 2. Same throughout as before. SDP wins the draw, sends around the boards to the near side. Tied up down low. Friedis is in the mix. Drexel gets a stick on it and changes direction, sends it down behind the net. Puck gets flipped up and out of the zone. Play's gonna continue. White has to hustle back for it. He's got a couple players on. Sends it up the boards on the near side. Little bounce in, and now it gets cleared out. Friedis tries to pull it in. Into the zone, centering pass attempt, doesn't quite connect. Dormer crashing in, keeps it in the corner, and then sends it up to the point to White, who turns around, dumps it in behind the net, rolls around to the far side. Friedis in the far corner. Sends it up to the point. Shot by Bisley. Goaltender makes a save, and it's going to deflect up into the netting and out of play. 15:54 left in period number 1. On the ice, we've got Flanagan, Banyan, Rahosian, Espirito, and Bisley. Quick draw. SDP ends up with it. They're going to clear the zone. Little back and forth, and now Rahosian's going to send it into the SDP zone. Flanagan applying pressure on the forecheck. SDP sends it up the near side wall. Bisley turns around, sends it back, tied up on the near wall. And now it gets flipped up into the SDP zone. SDP recollects behind their net. Flanagan applying pressure on the forecheck. Cross-ice pass. STP's going to skate it out of the zone. Sent to that outside wall, down in the corner. Comes up to the point on the far side. Shot from up high. Bouncing around, and now Rahosian's going to clear. Over to Flanagan. He's into the zone with it. Flanagan on the far side holds up on the wall, centers the pass, can't quite get a stick on it, tries to feed to Rahosian and unable to get a shot off. Puck comes back to Fuhrer, who sends it back into the SDP zone, and a little back and forth at neutral ice, and now it's going to get flipped into the Rampage zone, where White has to pick it up behind his net. He sends a stretch pass looking for Flanagan, goes off a boot and into the zone. SDP gets there first. Just able to clear. Fuhrer now knocks it back into the SDP zone. SDP has it, cross ice pass, and back again. Back to Fuhrer in his own zone. He makes a move, sends it off the wall. SDP has the puck at neutral ice. They're going to send it cross ice to the far side. Into the Rampage zone with it. White wrangles it in, sends a pass looking for Whitted on the backhand, doesn't connect. It goes into the SDP zone. Whitted applying pressure on the forecheck. SDP skates to the far side, flips it up in the air, clears the zone with it, gets knocked down by White. He sends it up for Whitted, deflects off his backhand into the zone. He's going to give chase down low into the corner. SDP sends it up the near side wall. Puck comes up and out of the zone. SDP is going to skate it into the Rampage zone on the near side. Down low into the corner. White's going to skate it over to the far side corner. Gets tied up a little bit. He's got Whitted in there to try to help out. White sends it up looking for Whittingham. Whittingham has to turn and make a move towards the wall, then flip it up in the air. Sarver coming down. He's got a man on him, and SDP is going to turn around, send it back the other way. Bisley up looking for Dormer, who backhands it into the zone. SDP gets it back behind the net. SDP sends it across to the near side and out to neutral ice into the Rampage zone. They're going to take the outside wall. Centering pass. SDP reverses direction, sends it to the other side. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Bounces around and ends up on the far wall. SDP holding it in for now on the far wall. A little bit of chaos. Move back to the corner. Judkins is in there. SDP comes skating back up. Low pass and a quick shot attempt that deflected off of somebody up and out of play, and we get a stoppage, and we'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone with 12:40 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Foster, Roberts, Bisley, and Espirito. Tied up on the draw. Rampage send it up the boards, but SDP closed the door, send it back in on net. Roberts has it on his stick. He skates it out of the zone. He's going to skate to the near side, takes the red line. He's going to chip it in and give chase. Foster's in on the forecheck. SDP sends it up the near side wall. Cross ice to the far side. They're going to flip it into the Rampage zone on net, and Shields is going to go ahead and cover up as he had a man on his way in the hunt. 12:12 left in period number 2. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Friedis, Dormer, White, and Fuhrer. Rampage win the draw back into the corner. Fuhrer gets there, changes direction, and SCP player's waiting, sends a pass to center, just unable to connect. And now the puck's going to come out to neutral ice, back into the Rampage zone. Fuhrer gets there, sends it around the boards on the far side. Friedis kicks it off the boards, but SDP holds it in the zone. Drexel picks it up. He's going to skate with it. Kind of gets stuck in the snow, but he recollects. He's back into the zone. Quick move, and the goaltender's going to poke check it aside. Back to Drexel up front. Shot taken. Goaltender got a piece, bounces out front. Dormer sends it up to the point. Fuhrer sends it in. Player waiting. Shot doesn't make it through. Comes out to neutral ice. Fuhrer sends it across to White on the near side. White up to Drexel. Drexel turns. He's going to skate with it. He's into the zone. Tries to take a shot. Goes into the corner on the near side. SDP comes skating up through neutral zone into the Rampage zone with it. Shot deflects off a stick. Goes up and hits the glass behind. It's on the far wall now. Friedis drops it for Dormer. Dormer takes the red line. He's going to flip it into the zone, go for a change. SDP picks it up in their zone. Flanagan in on the hunt, applying pressure on the forecheck, having a dance with the goaltender. SDP sends it up and out of the zone. They're into the Rampage zone with it. Rahosian pulls it off the wall. Bennett picks it up over to Flanagan. Gets held up in the neutral zone, and then it's just outside the zone, it looks like. SDP is going to skate away from the wall with it. into the Rampage zone. They kick it out to the far side. Shot taken. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. 10 minutes and 17 seconds left in period number 2. On the ice, we've got... Oh, we're going to get a couple of new skaters out. Looks like we've got Espirito and Führer coming out to join Flanagan, Rahosian, and Banyan. Puck goes into the corner. Quick shot. Kind of just gets flipped up right in front of the net, and Shields has it in his glove. And now we're going to get Whittingham, Whitted, and Sarver out to join Führer and Espirito. Goes out to the far wall, back down the wall again. Little bouncing around. SDP turns around, keeps it in the zone, skates it down in the near side corner. Puck comes up to the near side point. Tied up on the wall. Sarver wrangles it in, sends it across to Whittingham. Whittingham takes the red line, skates over to Sarver, and the puck trickles into the zone, and Rampage was offsides. 9:45 left in period number 2. We're going to face off outside the Rampage zone. Same crew out as before. Rampage wins the draw. Back into the zone. Führer tries to send it across, kind of bouncing. Espirito has to poke check it to keep a shot from going. Puck tied up on the inside wall. SDP is going to skate it off the wall. Out to neutral ice. Shot from up high. Shields has it and is going to hang on. Face off in the Rampage zone with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Bennett, White, Judkins, Foster, and Roberts. Rampage win the draw, flip it up, and just clear the zone with it. SDP sends it across to the near side. Across to the far side. Back into the Rampage zone. White has it on his stick. He turns, skates. He's going to take the red line, tries to make a move, and puck ends up back in the SDP zone. They change directions, send it to the near side corner. Cross ice to the far side, through neutral, into the Rampage zone with it. Quick shot, and Shields has the save. 8:58 left in period number 2. Face off in the Rampage zone. A couple of fresh skaters out on the ice. We're going to have Drexel, Friedis, and Dormer, and Bisley and Führer. Rampage win the draw. Bisley makes a move in the corner, sends it up, kicks off the wall, just doesn't quite connect, and now Friedis has to wrangle it in, sends it up to Dormer. Dormer skates with it. He's into the zone, takes the far side for Friedis. Shot goes just wide of the net. Nice little pass and shot attempt. SDP coming back the other way. Centering pass, and on the back door. With 8:35 left in period number 2 on a quick transition. SDP goes up 3-0. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Rahosian, Banyan, Espirito, and White. SDP takes the puck into the Rampage zone. Shot taken. Shields turns to the side of the far wall. Puck's in up to the point. Shot sails up and on the inside wall with it. Flanagan's going to turn, kind of gets tied up down low in the corner. He's got White in there to try to help out. a couple SDP players. White skates out with it, sends it across. Espirito has it on his stick, changes directions, it goes to an SDP player. Puck trickles out front. SDP with a shot from the top of the circle. It's a really unfortunate turnover where the puck trickled out and nobody saw it. An SDP player was waiting right at the top of the circle to pick it up. So with 8:02 left in period number 2, the Rampage go down by a score of 4-0. Out on the ice to take over. Hopefully they still got some gas in the tank and they're willing to try to battle back here. So we've got Sarver, Whitted, Whittingham, Bennett, and Bisley. SDP wins the draw. Whittingham, puck gets deflected, goes up into the Rampage bench and out of play. 7:57 left in period number 2. Rampage win the draw, back to Bisley. He's going to fire it into the SDP zone. SDP skates to the near side, sends it across the far side. Quick steal by Whitted. Tries to get a shot off, sticks in the way. Sarver turns and fires, goes wide of the net. Puck comes up to the near side wall. SDP skating out of the zone with it, sends a pass across to center ice. Shot taken, Bisley gets skates in the way. Secondary shot, Shields makes the save. Puck ends up in the corner. Up to Whittingham, he clears the zone with it. SDP turn around the other way. They're going to turn and flip it into the far corner. Bisley sends it up the wall. Unable to clear. Tied up, comes out of the zone. Whitted backhands it, looking for Sarver. Goes off his skate. And now SDP is going to flip it back into the Rampage zone. Bisley picks it up down low. Change direction for Bennett. Bennett skates it up, sends a stretch pass, looking for Sarver. Puck goes in the SDP zone, and Sarver ties things up on the wall, or tries to. I'm sorry, the puck came back the other way. I couldn't see it. Bisley up to the point to Bennett. He flips it off the wall, comes out of the zone. Tied up, and Bennett has the puck. Looks like it got stuck on the boards. Gets out of the zone. SDP recollects and neutral ice. They're going to send it back into their own zone, cross ice, and back again. And back again to the far side. And back again to the near side. They're through neutral into the Rampage zone. Puck bouncing around. Gets sent up to the point. Cross ice to the near side, up to the near side point. Pass goes off, shot goes off of Bisley and ends up on the far side wall. That shot comes up. Foster turns, he's going to fire and clear it. That should be icing. And we do indeed get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone with 6:01 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Dormer, Friedis, White, and Fuhrer. Rampage win the draw back into the corner. And SDP kind of jumps on it. White has to take the puck back. He's going to skate. Sends a cross ice pass to Friedis. Friedis is into the zone. Looking for Dormer on the far side. Dormer holds up down low in the corner. Sends it to the point. Fuhrer takes a shot from up high. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to cover it. 5:41 left in period number 2. Rampage win the draw. Dormer with a quick shot goes up and over the near side wall. It's going to come out of the zone, up against the near side wall. Drexel back to Dormer. Dormer feeds it over. Friedis has it on his stick. Into the zone, looking cross ice pass. Body's in the way. Comes up to the point. Fuhrer turns, fires it off the stick to the near side corner. Puck ends up back down below. Dormer feeds it out front and just doesn't quite connect. Drexel with the takeaway. He's going to backhand it to keep it in the zone. Drexel pulls it out of the air, takes a shot, goes off a body, and ends up on the near side. Espirito has to wrangle it in. He skates out to neutral, sends it across to Bennett. Bennett into the zone with it. and we had a whistle for offsides. And I believe we've got a penalty coming. .453 left in the second. I didn't see what happened, and it looked like he called it after the play was over, but I'm not sure. But regardless, what I'm seeing is the Rampage are going to be on the power play for the first time today. .453 left in period number 2. We'll see what we got lined up to start this power play unit. Looks like we've got Whittingham, Whitted, Sarver, Flanagan, and White. I got to be honest, I didn't see what happened that led to the penalty, and it did appear to come after the play was over, but maybe he had his hand up before. I don't know. Rampage were offsides, which stopped the play, so the faceoff comes outside the zone. Rampage win the draw. Over to Flanagan. Flanagan tries to skate through. Whitted gets a stick on it. He's going to dump it deep. Flanagan goes in, gives chase down low. Up the boards. Whitted traps it on the boards. Feeds it up to Whittingham at the point. Whittingham poke check, and SDP coming back the other way. Drop the puck, and they're going to pick it up and turn and skate with it and try to kill some time. SDP back in their own zone with it, sends it across to the near side and back again to the far side. Sends a long stretch pass, which they're allowed to do because they're on the penalty kill. Shields is going to send it around up the near side wall, and SDP dumps it back in. Shields is going to hold it up. White comes skating out from behind his net, going to try to set things up. Over to Whittingham. Whittingham wrangles it in. Over to Sarver. Sarver tries to drop it for Whittingham and gets stuck on the wall, and now it goes down low. Whitted has to chase it. Flanagan gets in there. Back to Whitted. Fed up to Whittingham, top of the circle. Over to Bennett. Bennett takes a shot, goes off a body, doesn't make it through. Whittingham wrangles it in. He's going to skate down low. Puck comes out and across to Flanagan, and I believe the net came off. Did the net come off? We get a whistle. I think the net came off, looks like. So 3:39 left in period number 2, 46 seconds left on the power play. And we'll get a fresh power play unit out. We've got Freitas, Drexel, Judkins, Dormer, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw. SDP tries to jump on it. Dormer makes a move to hold it in. Takes a shot from the dot. Drexel wrangles it back in on the rebound. Up to Bennett on the blue line. Shot goes off the goalie's glove, ends up in the far side. Drexel comes in, pins it against the wall. And now Dormer sends it across to Bennett. Bennett back to Dormer. Change of direction. SDP with the steal. They're coming back the other way with speed. Sauced across. It's going to end up in the far corner. Judkins doing battle down low. Dormer's going to pick it up. Only 9 seconds left on the power play for the Rampage boys. Up to Freitas. Freitas skates through. Back behind the net. Puck tied up down low. STP's back at full strength. Puck up to Bisley. He's going to send it back down the boards into the corner. SDP, I'm sorry, I thought I had a takeaway. Can't see the puck. It's back down in the corner. Dormer goes after it. Centering pass attempt, goes off some skates, bounces back out. Dormer recollects, skates out to center, makes a move. Dormer tries a wraparound attempt, sends it out front. Drexel wrangles it in, tries to shoot, goes just wide of the net, ends up on the far side wall. Foster in, applying pressure on the forecheck. And SDP sends it off the glass and out to neutral ice. Fuhrer backhands it over to Bisley. Bisley, behind him, must have connected with Foster on the way in. Puck ends up in the near side corner. It takes a weird bounce off the glass, and then Banyan sends it to Foster. Goes off of his stick, and now SDP poke checks it, and they're coming back the other way. Cross ice to the near side point. Shot from up high. Foster gets in the way of that. Doesn't make it through. And then, on the transition, nobody could really get control of the puck. SDP now coming back the other way with speed. They got a little bit of a 2-on-1. Shot goes up and over. Fed out front. Shot taken. I believe it might have actually gone in the first time, but whatever happened, it bounced back in on the second attempt. 1:26 left in period 2, and Rampage are digging a little bit of a bigger hole. No problem. All right, out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Judkins, Rahosian, Espirito, and White. Sent into the Rampage zone. Espirito has to go back for it behind the net. Puck goes up the far wall. Rahosian knocks it down. It's going to come up and out. Back into the corner. SDP sends it up to the point. It's going to bounce up and out of the zone. They turn and fire it into the Rampage zone. Espirito goes back to pick it up behind his net. Up to Rahosian. To Flanagan. Flanagan crosses the red line into the SDP zone with it. He takes the outside lane. Picked up by Judkins. I'm sorry, just lost the handle. SDP coming back the other way. Drop the pass. And it goes off of a skate, comes out to neutral ice where SDP has the puck. Cross ice to the near side. And I think we must have had offsides. I think one of the players was trying to change and jump on the bench. And 22 seconds left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Whittingham, Sarver, Fuhrer, and Bennett. SDP skates the puck in. Whitted's going to clear it. He turns and skates with it. Sends it across looking for Whittingham. Goes off a stick. And I thought Whittingham was offsides, I thought both of our players were offsides. Either way, puck gets tied up on the far side wall. Down low in the corner. Whitted gets kind of sat on. And time expires on period number 2. And we've got some extracurriculars coming after the play that probably is going to get a game ejection, I think. So when we come back after about 10 minutes or so of an ice cut, the score is 5-0. The Rampage have a very deep hole to dig themselves out of, and hopefully they got some fire left in their belly before we head home. I'm going to go on mute, and I'll see you guys back in about 10 minutes. Okay, folks, welcome back. As we get ready to start period number 3, it does appear that we're going to be starting period number 3 on the power play based on the kerfuffle right at the end of the period. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised to see my son, number 70, who was very much involved in that, is back on the bench. So I thought almost for certain that would have earned an early ticket to watch from the stands. But like I said, pleasantly surprised. So you missed it. You stayed out of the camera. All right, Rampage boys down by a score of 5-0. Like I said, they've got a big hole to dig out of. What I think I'd really like to see is how much fight do they have left in them. Let's see if we can generate a little bit of offense. Right now, the SDP is basically doubling our shot count. And, yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully our boys can kind of get some things figured out, generate some offense, and I'd like to see them just have a really strong third period to end the weekend. Let's set that as a goal. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Dormer, Freitas, Bennett, and White, with Ryder Shields in between the pipes. What's that? Yeah, and then they got an extra one, it looks like. All right, so Rampage are going to start this on the power play. Drexel picks the puck up back in his own zone. He's going to turn and skate with it. Drops it for Bennett. Bennett comes skating up on the near side. Drops it at the point for Freitas to Dormer. Dormer wrangles it in. Makes a move down low. And then feeds the puck up to Bennett up top of the circle. Back down low looking for Dormer. And SDP is able to clear. Shields is going to hold it up and leave it for White. White comes skating out to the near side, skates through neutral, into the Rampage zone with it. Gets flipped down the distance. Dormer picks it up behind his net. 1 minute and 10 on the power play for the Rampage boys. SDP turns around, flips it back into the Rampage zone. Dormer tries to wrangle it in. Drops it back for Bennett. Bennett comes skating out of his zone over to Flanagan. Off the wall for Banyan. Banyan threads the needle. SDP goaltender sends it up the near side boards. Puck comes bouncing out. Up to Bisley at the point. Cross ice to Judkins on the far side. Back to Bisley. Pass comes up and out of the zone. SDP is going to send it back into their own zone to kill some time. 24 seconds left on the penalty kill. SDP sends it up in the distance, and Bisley has to come back all the way behind our net to collect. Stretch pass up for Rahosian. Rahosian has to wrangle it in, drops it for Bisley. Bisley skates to the far side. He's into the zone with it on the far side, holds up on the wall. Cross ice pass to Flanagan. Flanagan makes a move down in the corner, and SDP is back at full strength. And we have a penalty coming to the Rampage. don't know what. They're sending Flanagan off the ice. I'm really confused. I didn't see anything that warranted that, but they just put a 5-minute major up on the board for what they signaled as a slash. So the Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill for a 5-minute major, it looks like. I didn't see it. I can't speak to it, but it seemed a little odd. Out on the ice, we've got Freitas, Dormer, Fuhrer, and Espirito to start on the penalty kill. Do have a 5-minute major up on the board, and Tommy Flanagan was asked to leave the ice. Like I said, I didn't see it. They signaled a slash. Usually a slash doesn't get you tossed, but it's been a weird weekend, and I just can't explain it. Rampage win the draw. Espirito sends it around the boards, up and through, and clears it the distance. SDP has it behind their net. They're going to set up. Deflected up and into the Rampage bench and out of play. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Espirito, Foster. I'm sorry, Rampage come out with it. They skated into the zone. SDP turn around, coming the other way. Into the Rampage zone with it. Lose the handle. It goes down low. SDP sends it up to the point on the near side. Puck goes across to the far side. Sarver turns, fires up to the point, unable to clear. SDP sends it across to the near side point. Back down the wall, out to center, and the puck goes through to the far side corner. Fuhrer sends it up the boards and out of the zone. .352 left of penalty kill time on the major. SDP coming back through neutral ice into the Rampage zone with it. They're going to take the far side, feed it down low, back behind the net. SDP is going to skate to the far side, send it up to the point on the far side. Back down the wall into the corner. Nice, Banyan gets skates in the way, keeps it out of the zone. SDP is going to flip it back up, down low. White in the corner. He's got a couple of SDP players in there as well, doing battle. Puck goes back into the corner and up into the netting and out of play. 2:56 left on the penalty kill. 12:47 in the period. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Rahosian, Fuhrer, and Bisley. SDP wins the draw up to the point on the near side. Back down the near side wall. Pass across to the far side. Back down low. Up to the point on the near side. Cross ice to the far side circle. Skate in, shot taken. Save was made initially, and then an SDP player waiting on the back door picks up the rebound and is going to put it in the net. So with 12:27 left in period number 3, SDP with a power play goal, bringing the score 6-0, and Rampage still have 2 minutes and 36 seconds on the 5-minute major. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Drexel, Espirito, and Bennett. SDP wins the draw back into their own zone. Puck comes across to the near side, into the zone with it. Sends a pass across to the far side. Quick shot. Now the puck gets flipped up and out, comes out of the zone. Across to the far side, they're going to dump it into the zone hard. Rims around the boards to the near side. Drexel knocks it down, tries to wrangle it in, makes a quick move, and then sends a pass all the way to the end of the ice. SDP comes skating out of their zone through neutral into the Rampage zone with it on the far side. Pass goes just wide of the net, ends up back behind and into the far corner. SDP sends it up the far side and back down again. Sends a pass up. Catches the man waiting on the back door on the dot on the near side. And with 11:06 left in period number 3, SDP goes up by a score of 7-0. And still 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining on the 5-minute major. So that's 2 power play goals now on the major penalty. Out on the ice to take over on the PK, we've got Sarver, Foster, Espirito, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Bisley's going to skate it back into his zone, turns and fires the distance. Sarver in on the forecheck. SDP comes skating out of their zone with it. Send it down the boards on the far side. Then just clears the zone. Foster tries to pick up a stick. Sarver sends, and now we got a penalty coming to SDP for a pretty late cross-check, trying to push Johnny Sarver into his own bench. And I think we have a run clock at this point due to the goal differential. So we've got 10 minutes left, and probably by the time we get our next face-off, we'll... maybe not. Maybe you just forgot to... They put the time up on the wrong side, but Rampage at 4-on-4 for a little bit. Clock is going to just continue to run. Bennett with the quick shot goes up and over. Ends up on the far side wall. Fuhrer drives it down on the far wall. Takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. And we get a stoppage. And yeah, the clock is continuing to run. I think that's just based on goal differential. On the ice, we've got Whittingham, Roberts, Banyan, Bennett, and Fuhrer. Puck gets cleared the distance, goes off a stick, so play will continue. And I'm sorry, Rampage are at 5 on the power play for the next minute and 11 seconds. Banyan picks it up behind his net. He's going to come skating out the far side. Off the wall to Roberts, over to Fuhrer. He's into the zone with it, makes a move, and now the puck's going to end up down low in the corner on the near side. Bennett has to come skating back into his zone for it. To Whittingham. Whittingham's into the zone. Puck near the near side wall. Whittingham's going to dump it down low. Banyan gets there, changes direction. Roberts knocks it into the corner on the near side. SDP turns. They're going to flip it up and out of the zone. And Espirito has to go back and recollect. Rampage on the power play for another 30 seconds. Espirito with the puck back behind his net. He comes skating out. SDP has it in their own zone, and they're going to send it the distance. They are still on the penalty kill right now. Just 11 seconds left on the Rampage power play. Bennett makes a move. It's going to send it over to Rahosian. Rahosian drops a little miscommunication. Now Rahosian has to backhand it to keep it in the zone. SDP back at full strength. Puck comes up the near side wall. Cross to the far side. And back again. Bennett changes directions. SDP is going to send it back into the zone. Bennett sends it across to Bisley. Bisley up and out of the zone. It looked like it came out, but they let him continue. At this point, it doesn't matter much. SDP keeps it in the zone, sends it down low into the corner. Comes up the wall. Rahosian's going to wrangle it in. Sends it up and off the boards. That's probably going to be icing. And we do indeed get a whistle for icing with 7:18 left in period number 3. And counting down. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, White, Friedis, Dormer, and Fuhrer. Comes up just outside the zone. Drexel gets a stick on it up to Dormer. Dormer's into the zone, over to Drexel. Drexel takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. SDP into the Rampage zone with it. Cross-ice pass. Fuhrer sends it up and out. SDP recollects at neutral ice. They're going to skate it back into their own zone. 6:21 left in the game. SDP through neutral into the Rampage zone. Send it cross ice to the far side. Shot goes off a body. Comes up and out of the zone, so delayed offsides. Fuhrer comes up to pick it up. Skates out of the zone with it. Whittingham's going to chip it into the zone and then try. It doesn't get much on it. Puck goes down low. Sarver doing battle. He gets ridden to the ice, and we do have a penalty coming to SDP. 5:41 left in the game. Rampage will be on the power play. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Whittingham, Banyan, Espirito, and Bisley. SDP wins the draw, sends it hard around the boards. That's going to go the distance. Bisley comes back for it. Tries to change direction. Didn't have much on it. Espirito has to make a move, comes skating out the near side. Espirito feeds it up off of Banyan's stick. Banyan goes in chasing it down. He picks it up, tries to feed it out front, looking for Whittingham. Just couldn't quite connect. SCP's going to clear it in the distance. 1:21 left on the power play for the Rampage boys. Puck to Banyan. He's going to send it up the wall to Whittingham on the near side. Over to Espirito. Espirito skates back behind his own net, sends it off the boards to Whittingham on the near side. Fed across to Bisley. Bisley over to Banyan, and Rampage are offside. So with 4:20 left in the game and 53 seconds left on the power play with a running clock, we'll get a face-off outside the SDP zone. Rampage, on the ice, we've got Roberts, Judkins, Rahosian, Bennett, and White. Whitted out of the box after serving his 2-10 at the start of the third period. White comes back for it, back behind his net. He's going to drop it for Bennett. Bennett comes skating out from behind his net, makes a move to the inside. He's into the SDP zone, sends it towards the net. Goaltender makes a save. White picks it up. He's going to circle up top. Tries to feed it out front. Judkins picks it up to Bennett. Bennett sends it towards the net just wide. And we've got another penalty coming to SDP for a cross-check. So with 3:22 left in the game and a running clock, Rampage are going to go back on the power play. The previous penalty had expired. Nope. I'm sorry. I don't know, because nothing is up on the board anymore. But there are still 2 SDP players in the box, so I'm not sure if that penalty had expired or if they just sent 2 players to the box. It does appear that we will have 5-on-3 for the next little bit. We've got Drexel, Friedis, Foster, Fuhrer, and Bisley. I'm not sure what's going on. The door is still open for the penalty. Oh, it must have just expired. Bisley takes a shot from up high, goes wide of the net. SDP clears the puck. Fuhrer's going to pick it up behind his own net. Makes a move to the outside. He drops it, looking for Bisley. Bisley has to feed it up off the wall, and SDP coming back the other way. Bisley with a big hit. Drexel picks it up behind his net. It's going to skate to the near side. Drops it for Fuhrer. Fuhrer sends it across for Foster. Foster's into the zone. Puck stuck on the inside wall. Gets sent across to the near side. And Fuhrer's going to pick it up at neutral ice. 2:16 left in the game. 1:03 left of the power play. Puck gets dumped into the SDP zone. Goaltender's going to hold it up and send it up the near side wall. Drexel stops, turns, centers, looking. Fortunately, couldn't get a shot off. Up to White, up top. Shot from up top. And with the redirect and 1 minute and 49 seconds left to go, Rampage finally get on the board this game. And I believe that one's going to Armani Foster for a tip out front. So, bringing the score to a deficit of 7-1. And I do think at 6 goals, I think you do stop clock, but right now the clock is just running. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Dormer, Sarver, White, and Espirito. And there's a player from SDP leaving the ice, but I don't know if it was an equipment problem, an injury, or if it was... I don't believe it's an ejection. The clock is running again. I don't know what we got going on, but the game's just about over. Right, 1 minute left. Dormer's got the puck. Sends it across. SDP keeps it in the zone. White turns around, comes the other way. Back into the SDP zone with it. He's going to drive it down low. Puck goes towards the goaltender. Nice little follow, but the goalie makes a couple of saves. Battle in the corner. The puck gets flipped up and out. And across to the far side. And out front, shot goes wide of the net, ends up on the far wall. And we've got a whistle, but the clock's running, so that's going to do it for us. So your score after 3 is 7-1 in favor of SDP. So following a really strong showing this weekend, unfortunately, the one game that just didn't go so well for us was this very last one. So the good news is the boys have a lot of lessons that can be learned. We can build from here, and we did have a lot of success early in the weekend, so I think they can hold their heads up and do this the right way. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you next weekend in Phoenix. That is all for now.